Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Sasivaranam Chaturbhujam Pratannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarva Lokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् परित्यज्य मौनं वठादस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशम् मधुस्यन्दिवाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गेण यन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्भाति चित्ते नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्यविजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारं सन्मतिप्रदं सत्यनारायणक्षेत्रात् सत्यव्रतमुपागतम् आश्रये कामकोटीशं सत्यश्रीचन्द्रशेखरं सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So, in Bhagavad Gita, in the past shlokas, Krishna has spoken about different topics. So, he told that a jnani and the ajnani, they both will do karma. Karma is going to be same for the jnani. Karma is going to be same for ajnani. When we tell karma, we talk about karma that are described in Shastra. Shastra Vihita, Nitya and Naimittika karma. We don't talk about Kamya karma or the so-called secular karma, etc. That is number one. And he also told that even though the karma is same, the attitude with which the karma is done is different for jnani and ajnani. The attitude with which the karma is done is different for jnani as well as ajnani. We saw in the last class, we saw that there are three people with three different attitudes that do the same karma. Karma is same, the people are different, the attitude with which the karma is done is different. For a jnani, he does karma because it is told in Shastra. So Shastra sollirukku, jnani has to do karma. He is not going to get anything out of the karma. He is not going to get any punyam. He is neither going to get punyam, nor he is going to get papam by doing karma or by not doing karma. He does karma because Shastra says so. He does karma because he has to be an example for the society. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः सयत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकः तदनु वर्तते. And then one level below, the person who is into the path of jnana yoga, the person who has just got jnanam, but he does not have jnana nishtha, that person has to do karma because even though he has got aham brahmasmi jnanam, even though he has got a good idea about the self, atma, etc., mind can stray here and there because of vasanas. And this person does karma in order to purify his mind. That is the second person. The third person who is a new entrant into Vedanta, or a person who does not even know what Vedanta is. Those people have to do karma. Ajnanis. Those people have to do karma. Why? Because it gives them chitta shuddhi so that it becomes, so that their mind is right to receive the jnana. So that their mind is right to receive the jnana. And then there are also the fourth class of people, parama ajnanis. They do karma because they want punyam and papa. So the karma is same. Sandhya Vandanam is same. but the attitude with which we do Sandhya Vandanam is different. Puja is same. The attitude with which people do puja is different. That is why Krishna says, Nabuddhi Vedam Janayete. Just because you have studied Vedanta, just because you have gone through Gita class, you have studied Upanishad, does not give you right to comment on others, especially when they are doing karma. Because a person is going to temple, he is doing some homam in their house. We go, காமிய கர்மம் எல்லாம் பண்ணப்படாது. அதெல்லாம் புண்ணிய பாபம் வந்துடும். You know what this guy will do? Instead of doing home, he will be watching TV. At least that punyam also he will not get. So nabuddhi vedam janayet joshayet ajnana nabuddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sangiram joshayet karma joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. Next shloka, these are all very, very loaded shlokas, have multiple levels of meaning. Prakritehe guna sammudhaha sajjante guna karmasu ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. So here Krishna talks about an ajnani. Aham prakritehe प्रकृतेः गुणसम्मूढाः सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु सारी तान कृत्स्नन् विदो बन्धान् कृत्स्नविन्न विचालयेत्. So that is what Krishna says. Yeah, प्रकृतेः 27th श्लोक. प्रकृतेः गुणकर्माणि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहङ्कार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते. So when we do karma, an ajnani will think, I do the karma. Aham karta iti manyate. Kartaham iti manyate. Aham karta iti manyate. I do this karma. I worked hard. I worked hard for my family. I worked hard for the society. I have done this. So I am expecting a phalam out of it. This is what is the thought process behind an ajnani. I have done this, so I need to get the phalam. But the thing is that who is that I that does all these things? We saw that Atma cannot do anything because Atma is nirvikaraha, nirvyavaharaha, nirgunaha. Atma does not have any gunam. Even if Atma wants to do something, it cannot do because it does not have any body. But the more important question is, Atma does not need to do anything. Why do we do any karma? We do karma because we want security, we want peace, we want happiness. These are the three reasons why we do any karma. Whatever actions that we do, it can be categorized into three categories. It is for security, it is for peace, it is for happiness. It is these three are called as dharma, artha, and kama. Dharma, what security it gives. When you do dharma, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. That is the security that the dharma gives. When you protect the dharma will protect you. When I do dharma, I am going to get punyam. When I get punyam, I am going to be very good in my next janma. I am going to be very good in later lives. मुखथोऽन्नगुं राध्यं मुखथोऽस्मान्नगुं राध्यते मध्यतोऽन्नगुं राद्धं मध्यतोऽस्मान्नगुं राध्यते अन्धतोऽस्मगुं राद्धं अन्ततोऽस्मान्नगुं राध्यते. Upanishad says, hey, when you give charity early in your life, in next janma, early in your life, people will help you. When you give charity in the middle part of your life in this Janma, next Janma, in the middle part of your life, people will come and help you. When you do charity in the later part of your life, in the next Janma, later part of your life, you will get what you have given. So when you have not given anything, you will also not get. That is called as dharma. That is called as security. Next is peace. Artha. Whether I have a roof on top of me, I can go peacefully sleep at night. Whether I have my next meal, those things which are essential for our living is called as peace. Because if we don't have that, we will lose peace. Of having a good family, essential for a comfortable living. Having a next meal. Don't have to worry about next meal. Don't have to worry about whether it is going to rain tomorrow or day after tomorrow. If it rains, where will I go? That is called as peace, peaceful life. And third is happiness. Dharma, artha, and kama. Kama, kama, kama means any likings, anything, any desire is called as kama. I am peaceful, right? But I want to be more luxurious. Luxury is called as kama. Essential is called as artha. I want to go from one place to another place. I even have a car, right? A normal car. But if I want a Tesla car, that is kama. I need a cell phone. Cell phone these days have become essential. So cell phone is artha. But I only want this top model iPhone. That is kama. So we have to understand the difference between these two. So anything that we do, it is because of dharma, artha, and the kama, that is security, peace, and happiness. And why do we do karma in order to gain security, peace, or happiness? Because right now we feel we are insecure. Right now we feel we don't have any peace. Right now we feel we are unhappy. Only when you don't have something, we have to do something in order to get to that thing. That is called as yoga. I don't have security, so I have to do something in order to be more secure. I don't have peace, so I have to do something in order to be peaceful. I don't have happiness, so I need to do something in order to be happy. That is called as yoga. Or it can also be for kshema. I have security. I want to secure the security. I have peace. I want this peace to continue. I have happiness. I want this happiness to continue. So we do karma in order for yoga and kshema of security, peace, and happiness. Any karma that we do, we can categorize into these things. Whether you do it for yoga, whether you do it for kshema, whether you do it for the yoga of security, peace, and happiness, or you do it for the kshema of security, peace, and happiness. Now the question is for Atma. It does not have to be secure. It does not have to be peaceful. It does not have to be happy. Why? Because it is the embodiment of security. It is the embodiment of peace. It is the embodiment of happiness. In fact, whatever security, peace, and happiness that we derive from the Vishaya, they are a small reflection of security, peace, and happiness that is the embodiment of Atma. Whatever is the security, peace, and happiness that we derive from Atma, that we derive from Vishayas, that we derive from doing any karma, lot of other anatma Vishayas, they are nothing but a reflection of security, peace, and happiness, which makes the Atma. How to understand this? You know, in a company, there will be an MD. Right. MD has got CEO of the company has got lots of power. For one project, CEO would have given you power to sign a document. For a particular project, you would have had, you are a project manager or something. you have the power to sign a particular project from the CEO. The power of signing, it does not belong to you. It belongs to the CEO. He has lent you the power to sign the document. You know, if you see any official document of, any government document, all the signing authority, they receive the power from the President of India. The President of India has given them power in order to do this. So it is only a reflection of that power. If the President of India is not there, then he will not have any authority to sign the document. In the same way, when I get a security from doing Sandhya Vandanam, or if I get happiness by having an iPhone, where do I get that happiness from? The happiness is not an intrinsic property of the iPhone. Happiness is not an intrinsic property of an iPhone. Happiness, if happiness were an intrinsic property of an iPhone, then you should get happy with that iPhone at all the time. For example, gulab jamun, let us take. Sugar, sweetness. Sweetness is an intrinsic property of gulab jamun. Why? Because I eat gulab jamun, it is going to be sweet. Somebody else eats gulab jamun, it is going to be sweet. I eat gulab jamun in the morning, sweet. I eat gulab jamun in the afternoon, sweet. I eat gulab jamun in the evening, sweet. So at all times it is going to be sweet. No matter who eats it, it is going to be sweet as well. But what about the property, that is the happiness that you derive from eating gulab jamun? That is not an intrinsic property of gulab jamun. Because somebody likes gulab jamun will be more happy when they eat gulab jamun. You give the same gulab jamun to the other person who hates gulab jamun, even for him, when he eats the gulab jamun, it is going to be sweet, but it is not going to give him happiness. Or if I have had lots of gulab jamun in the morning, in the afternoon itself, if somebody eats gulab jamun, it is not going to be the source of happiness for me. So the happiness jamun, like the shape of gulab jamun, like the shape of gulab jamun, not matter who sees it, they're going to be same. Right? It is going to be spherical, no? It is going to be spherical for me. The fact that it is being spherical is not going to be different for different people. The fact that it is brown, gulab jamun, golden brown color, is not going to be different for different people. The fact that it is sweet is not going to be different for different people because these properties are intrinsic for gulab jamun. But whether you derive happiness or not, it is not an intrinsic property of gulab jamun. It is subjective. In the same way, happiness, the ability to provide happiness of Vishayas, the ability of Vishayas. When I say Vishaya, I'm talking about Anatma, the ability to provide happiness of Anatma. It is not an intrinsic property of that object because Anatma, imagine Anatma to be small mirror. Imagine our anatma to be small mirror. It only reflects the happiness of Atma. It only reflects the happiness that is reflects the happiness of Atma, which is the embodiment of happiness. It reflects the peace of Anatma. It reflects the peace of Atma, which is the embodiment of peace. It reflects the security of Atma, which is the embodiment of Atma. So Atma does not have to do any karma. Only Anatma does karma. And we don't understand that. We think that I do karma. Why do we think I do karma? Because we don't identify ourselves with Atma. We identify ourselves with this body. We think that this body does it. This body does it, but we identify I have done it. So we have to disidentify from our body. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. When you do think, when you have a certain thought, that thought comes because of guna. When you have a thought, that thought comes because of guna, because of your body mind complex and the actions of body mind complex. But that thought is not because of you. Who is beyond the body mind complex? It is like electricity. A fan is there. The fan has got some funny shape. Electricity that enlivens the fan thinks that, okay, that is my shape. Electricity that enlivens the fan looks at the fan in the mirror. It thinks that, okay, no, I don't like the way my wings are. I don't like the way my color is. I don't like the way my this thing are. But in reality, electricity does not have color. Electricity does not have any shape. Electricity enlivens the fan containing that shape. In the same way, when you have some problem with the body, don't think that I have this problem. No, you don't have the problem because you are the Atma. Because we are Atma without any blemishes. The body has problem. Oh, so should there be any problem with my body? Yes. Body has got all the Shad Vikara, Asti, Jayate, Vartate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Vinashyati. These are the properties. This is the dharma of that body. I have been like that. I used to be like that. Now I cannot be like that. No, you were not used to be like that. Your body used to be like that. I used to have lots of influence before. Now I don't have any influence. No, you don't have any influence. Your body mind complex had influence. I used to eat lots of things. Now I cannot eat lots of. No, your body used to eat lots of things. Now the body cannot eat lots of things. That is the property of the body. You just cannot cry because when you touch the fire, it is hot. Being hot is the nature of fire. Being hot is the fire's nature. You cannot cry over that. You just have to have that viveka that, okay, fire is going to be hot. When you operate with that viveka, you can use fire to do lots of good things. When I have that viveka, that, hey, these are all going to be the property of the fire, then you can understand, you can utilize the fire to do lots of good things. Same thing when I have a tool. When I have a tool, the first thing that you need to do is what are the limitations of the tool? The first thing that we need to understand is what are the limitations of the tool. That is what, in science and all, this is the exercise that we do. When you design an experiment, the first thing that you have to do is what are the limitations of the experiment? What are the things that I can learn from this experiment? What are the things that I cannot learn from the experiment? Only when you have this thing very clearly, you can finish the experiment, you can get good results. I have a computer. Now everybody talks about AI. Gemini is an AI tool. ChatGPT is an AI tool. I want to use ChatGPT. If I want to use ChatGPT, we need to know what are the limitations of ChatGPT before using it. Only when we know the limitations of ChatGPT, we can use ChatGPT in a very proper way. In the same way, your body is a tool. Your body is a tool. We need to know the limitations of your body. We need to acknowledge the limitations of the body. Body's nature is to grow old. Body's nature is to go weak, is to get weakened. Body's nature is to disappear one day. Just because body disappears does not mean that you disappear, because you are not your body. Just like how ChatGPT is a tool to do things. Just like how fire is a tool to do things. Just like how my computer is a tool to do things, in the same way, my body is a tool to do lots of things. My body is a tool to do lots of things. We don't own the fire. Whatever things that fire does, we don't own. Okay, I did that. Even though you have made the fire, you have nurtured the fire. You don't say, I cooked this thing. The fire cooked. Because if you remove the fire, cooking process would not have happened. We don't say, I burnt all these things. I mean, even though we say that, but you have not burnt all these things. You have an understanding that it is the fire that burnt all these things. You have used the fire, yes, but you have not done it. In the same way, all the laurels that we get, all these scoldings that we get, it is only for the body, of the body, because of the body. It is not for Atma. And alas, what we do, we think that whatever that happens to body happens to me, and we get into Shloka and Moha. People get depressed, becoming old, because they used to do lots of things, now they cannot do anything. That is the nature of Sharira. That is the nature of Sharira. That person used to praise me. அவனுக்கு காரியம் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் he is not coming, he is not praising you, he is praising your body. You, on the other hand, being Atma, do not need any praise at all, because you are not going to be affected by praise or scolding. प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ताहम इति मन्यते. We have an ahankara towards your body mind complex. Ahankara and aham, I am. Ahankara does not mean ahankara mamakara. Here ahankara means I am this body. I am the product that I have developed. This happens with lots of scientists. Everybody has got problems. Scientists will also have got problems. Scientists, we would have spent a lot of time in making a model to explain some phenomena. And of course, that model is going to be falsified by people in the future. But we will not like it. Why? Because I have proposed that model. How can we say this model is false? In the same way, you have done something. When I did something, how can he talk back to me? You have not done anything. Your body does that. You have an ahankara towards your body. You own your body. You think you are that body. You are your body mind complex. That is why somebody talks back to you. And if they talks back to you, when they talk back to your body mind complex, you think they are talking back to you. He has disrespected me. All the other problem comes. But it is because of misplaced ahankara. Ahankara vimudhatma. Misplaced ahankara. Mudha means delusion. A deluded ahankara on your body. A deluded ahankara on the things slash people that you like. If they disrespect that people, you get angry. People, they have misplaced identity so much so that previously it used to be only your body. Because you move with the body for so long, for so many janmas. So you have misplaced ahankara with your body, with your mind, we can understand. But now people have misplaced identity with the animate and inanimate objects surrounding them. If somebody has got a dog, you call the dog a dog, people will get angry because they misplace their identity with the dog. How can how can you call my dog a dog? If it has got four legs, if it is barks, if it has got a tail, it is a dog. How can you call my dog a dog? No, 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 no. He is my son. Misplaced identity. People will have a car, somebody will keep leg on their car. People get angry. Lots of crimes have gone because somebody has placed a leg on car. They identify with their car because they love the car so much. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Again, this is just one layer of the shloka. There is another layer of the shloka. Yet to come, Krishna talks about a very, very important point about the origin of guna, etc. Those things we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavadishyate Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi